Good evening, good night. This is Shindo. Looking at this article about ISIS, and there's a reason why I thought this article might be pertinent today. This is from PJ Media. ISIS calls for random knife attacks in alleys, forest, beaches. Quote, quiet neighborhoods. Okay, I will, of course, give a link to this in the description box. A new magazine issued by the Islamic State advises lone jihadists to get over any squeamishness about using knives and embrace sharp objects as, quote, widely available, unquote, weapons of jihad in nighttime stabbing campaigns. ISIS Al-Hayat Media Center issued the second issue of its magazine, Ramayya, meaning Rome, in English, Turkish, German, French, Indonesian, Russian, Arabic, and Uyghur. The design of the magazine is more simple than the ISIS English language Dubuque. It's also much shorter, 38 pages, compared to the 82 pages in the last issue of Dubuque. In the first issue of Ramayya, which debuted a month ago, jihadists were advised to target teens playing sports after school or even flower sellers hawking blooms on the street. Now, this morning in Colorado University, okay, this is from the Chicago Tribune. I will give you a link to this as well. Police kill man armed with machete at University of Colorado. Apparently, this was at a sports arena where people were practicing. So, back to this article. In the new PDF issue distributed widely via social media and Google Drive, an article on terror tactics assures would-be jihadists that, quote, one need not be a military expert or a martial arts master or even own a gun or rifle in order to carry out a massacre or to kill and injure several disbelievers and terrorize an entire nation, unquote. A footnote in the article states that ISIS won't be using the term, quote, lone wolf, but, quote, just terror operations, quote, just as an adjective for justice. Al-Qaeda calls lone operations, quote, open source jihad, hinting that in the article is one of the forthcoming series about terror attacks. ISIS focus on the benefits of knives in order to help potential terrorists with the ocean of thoughts, quote unquote, that, quote, might pour into one's mind, unquote, when considering an attack. Quote, many people are often squeamish of the thought of plunging a sharp object into another person's flesh. It is a discomfort caused by the untamed, inherent dislike for pain and death, especially after, quote, modernization, unquote, distance males from partaking in the slaughtering of livestock for food and the striking of an enemy in war, unquote. The unblind article states, quote, however, any such squirms and discomforts are never an excuse for abandoning jihad, unquote. ISIS suggests, quote, a campaign of knife attacks, unquote, in which the attacker, quote, could dispose of his weapon after each use, finding no difficulty in acquiring another one. Quote, it is expressly advised not to use kitchen knives as their basic structures is not designed to handle the kind of vigorous application used for assassinations and slaughter, unquote, the article states, further advising, quote, to avoid troublesome knives those that can cause harm to the user because of poor manufacturing, unquote. So I just thought it was pretty interesting that ISIS is calling for people to do random knife attacks, and just this morning we had a random machete attack over at the University of Colorado. I will give you a link to that article from the Chicago Tribune as well. This is Shindo. Have a good day, or good night, that is.